Hey guys, Eric here in the school garden. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Eric. If you're new to the channel, I'm one of the education specialists for Easton Bank's Learning and Life Center. And like I said, we are in the school garden. Before we get into today's video, we would like to thank our latest subscriber here for joining our channel. Thank you for joining us. If you are already a part of the channel, thanks so much for coming by for another video. In today's video, we're going to be making this whole thing quick because it's about 92 degrees almost, and it's going to get even hotter than that today. It's 12 p.m. I tried to get out here a little earlier but had to do some other things, but I'm finally out here. As you can tell, it is windy, which is perfect because it adds a little bit more coolness in the air, but the sun is still blazing hot. Right now, we have a lot of different crops in the garden. We are mostly just harvesting today our summer crops like our beans, squash, and we do have a few leafy vegetables in the garden. And I'll show you once we get around to it. But today we're going to be planting more okra. We have two rows of okra, but one, all the seeds have not germinated yet, and then there's another okra row where we transplanted okra plants, and they have taken such a very long time to establish their roots and grow bigger. So I don't know if they're going to do anything. I haven't pulled them out. They're just, getting more leaves. They haven't grown any taller than what they were before. So I don't know what's going to happen with those, but we're just going to start a new round of okra so we can at least get one big harvest from okra, because I really love harvesting okra. It's really fun because they grow a maximum of like 3-4 pods a day. So we're going to get these started right now. But we're going to do 2 rows right here. I've already harvested garlic, which if I have any clips on my camera in my Sony camera, then I'll be able to show you guys a few clips of me harvesting the last few garlic plants that we had in the ground that the students started. But I'm going to do 2 rows of okra since they get pretty big. I want to make sure that they have enough space to grow big and tall. So 2 rows. This is the first one. I'm still trying to get up all these weeds. There were so many weeds over here, and I actually cleaned up this area last night. Sometimes when you're gardening, whether on a large scale like we are, or at home in a smaller area, you just gotta get out in your garden when you can. So I was out here around 7:30, 8 a.m. I mean p.m. well into the night, and I got a few things done. All right, we are done growing okra. That's going to be the last round of okra that we plant here at the school garden. I'm going to go ahead and water these seeds in. And as I was digging through the soil, I found some garlic seeds, but we're going to go ahead and leave them in. Okay, guys, I have 2 harvest baskets here. Um, these 2, I'm going to actually harvest some cucumbers. And we have runner beans, and they are starting to put on flowers, and the flowers are very pretty. They're like a, a shade of pink, and then they turn peachy. It's going to be really cool to see them in their full blooms. But let's get to harvesting some cucumbers. I see 2 cucumbers that are ready, and I'm going to, oh, it's actually 3. And they're kind of small right now, so I'm going to go ahead and harvest them while they're small. Um, when I do harvest on the cucumbers and the zucchini, I tend to harvest all of the ones that are ready at that time. And if they're very small like this, I leave them on the plant to get bigger. But if they're at least this big, and I would say that's like a 6, 7 inches. If they're that long, then I harvest them, because if you wait any longer than that, then they'll start to produce seed, and then by the plant making the fruit larger, the seeds will get bigger, and that is a key to the plant to stop producing. So we're gonna go ahead and harvest all of these cucumbers. We have beans here. I've already harvested the beans about 2 days ago, but if you already know how to grow beans, you know that they grow pretty fast as well. So we're gonna go ahead and harvest the girls that are ready. There are a few girls that are ready. So we're just gonna harvest all of them right now. These are some pretty beans. Look at these. Hopefully they're picking up on camera. They're pretty big. Nice and juicy. Oh, I think some bugs already got to one of these beans. That's fine. We have enough to share, to remember to grow a lot, even if you have a small space. There are ways to growing a lot of food in small spaces. Make sure to check out this video here where we talk about different ways to actually do that at home. So check out that video, but to make sure that you have enough food when you harvest, always grow more than you think you will need, because some of those plants will get overrun by, bugs, but it's all good. We're gonna harvest some Swiss chard and some kale, some blue dwarf kale that we have. One thing I'm not doing this year is fighting with the bugs. We're gonna do our best to prune, remove squash eggs, and remove hornworms and things like that. But once a plant gets infested, like the kale here, I know I said I was going to harvest the kale, but there are a bunch of caterpillars on there and I'm not fighting them. So we're going to let them have that. Won't be harvesting the edamame just yet. It is starting to get plumper in their shells. I give it another 3 weeks at the max before we harvest. But let's move on to the zucchini, which is right here. We actually have beans over here, so I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of these beans, and then we'll water the plants. So the other area where I harvested beans, that I've been harvesting from there for the past, what, 3 weeks now. And like I said, those plants are starting to like teeter out, and that's why it was important for us to start more beans. Ooh, I just found what was eating our beans. See that little guy? You see the tip, the little green part? It looks like a animal. That's actually an insect. It's a caterpillar. That is what, well, that's one of the things that's been eating our beans, putting holes in them and sucking out all of the little juice. I'm actually going to toss them. Yeet.
Why would she say that?
That's why it's important to always start new crops, like new plantings of, if you're wanting a bunch of beans during the summer, you plant a few seeds, let those get to maturity, and then you do another round. Now, these squash over here have not produced anything yet. These were actually put in after those squash were put in as transplants. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. Also, because I've noticed yesterday when I came out to the garden that these squash have already been attacked by the vine borer. So I may just go ahead and pull these out because each there are one, two, three, four, five, four squash plants over here, and each one has a vine borer in it. Well, guys, that's the end of today's video. We had a good time in the garden today. I didn't know that the audio cut out until I started editing the video, so sorry about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you learned something while watching today's video. Today was a good harvest day. I was really surprised and really happy about the produce that we got. We got different herbs like the basil and thyme and cilantro, and we also had squash, beans, and cucumbers harvested. We can't wait till we add more of the summer crops to our harvest videos like the tomatoes, eggplants, and peppers. The tomatoes haven't ripened yet, but they will in the next week or so. And the peppers and eggplants are still growing, so it'll probably be towards the end of July where we start harvesting those crops. But make sure to subscribe and like this video so that you can be up to date on when we harvest those types of crops. Make sure to also click the link in our description box of this video where you will be able to purchase merch from our merch storefront where you can support our programming through your purchase. Also, follow us on TikTok at Project Grape and Instagram and Facebook at EBLLCINC, where we dive more into quick tips in gardening and fun facts. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to tap into all of the other videos that we have on our channel. And until the next video, we'll see you all later in the garden. Bye.